how do you feel being the first zombie in a George Romero film?
Well, damn lucky.
And came time to do that cemetery scene, and I got ready to do it, got into the makeup, and then Bill Heinzman showed up, and we said, oh, good, Heinzman can be the cemetery zombie.
My advice to anybody that's going to be in a movie, small part or large part, play a bad guy. You know, because doesn't it seem that the bad guys always wind up being remembered? I mean, who else was in Frankenstein besides Boris Karloff? You know.
That's true. Actually, speaking of Frankenstein, I think you said that you sort of mimicked the walk off of, was it Walking Dead?
Yes, from Boris Karloff. I didn't know it at the time, but when I finally saw the film, I went, that's where I stole that from, you know. How am I supposed to kill him? Because we were told throughout the film we didn't have any strength except in tandem and together. How am I supposed to kill him? So you can bleep this as you want to, but he thought about it for a while and said, oh, fuck it, just kill him. So I did. And amazingly, at that point in history, the zombies walked around like this suddenly became aware enough to kill somebody, rip their guts out, eat them, pick up rocks, break car windows and shit, and became what they are today.
And we were looking for the different gravestones that were in the film, trying to see if we could match up all the shots. Because it's a pretty good like filmmaking exercise. You start to learn why they shot and what angles that they did. And we were trying to figure out what was the grave where you slammed Johnny's head down.
You know what? I don't remember.
Yeah.
The original graveyard right now, all those pine trees that were in the original scenes are gone. They got wiped out by a storm. So it looks totally different.
Well, I wrote the screenplay, which means that I rewrote George's story that he had partly written, and then I wrote the second half of the script. At one point, George and I were talking about the Molotov cocktail scene, and he said, well, we don't have an asbestos suit, we don't have a stuntman. I said, oh, hell, I'll do it. And then we made a puddle of gasoline around me and then a trail of gasoline up my leg and back. So when George called action, he was rolling Hardman through a match into the puddle. The gas went up my leg and back, and I just had to stagger like a zombie till I felt my hair being singed and fall over a hill where people were waiting with blankets to smother the flames. And we got 3 good takes, so everybody was real happy because it was great stuff for a low-budget movie, So then when I did the tire iron zombie thing, I just took the jacket off, ripped the shirt up. Carl Hardman did the makeups with Derma wax, and then we built a pocket for the blood to be in, which was, I think that might have been tomato soup, because we used all kinds of different things for blood, depending whether we wanted it to flow or whether we wanted it more viscous or whatever. I just had to slam my head back against the floor, and it was all done in cuts. So you see Dwayne pull the tire iron up, my head slams the floor, and that makes the juice pop out of the hole that was already there. I tell the fans usually that the toughest part about it was we couldn't get the tire iron out, so we had to saw it off front and back and do a skin graft, and so it's still in there, and it had the amazing effect of raising my already high IQ by another 10 points. The only drawback is that if I go past a junkyard and they turn on that big magnet, it will tend to lift me off the ground.
That'd be pretty difficult.
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot him in the head. That's a sure way to kill him. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat him or burn him. They go up pretty easy.
You kind of laid the rules for how to kill a zombie.
Well, I didn't discriminate. I shot them all.
Yeah, I mean, like the rules, how you shoot him in the head. It kind of started with Night of the Living Dead, would you say?
Yes, it did. And that was scripted. The only thing that wasn't scripted was a line I ad-libbed when I improvised it when I said they're dead, they're all messed up.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
You managed to stop a zombie invasion.
Well, I had help, but yeah, we were there to do a job. Let's get it done. No nonsense, no emotion. We got something to do, let's do it.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
It's pretty convincing in the film, too. When you see all that news footage, it seems like it's a real thing that's happening. There was nothing cheesy about it or anything.
Well, we felt we had to give the public their money's worth, and we didn't let you up. So that was due to the writing and the directing, and we played a small part in its success as well.
They would have to spend a great deal of time in the beginning of the movie explaining how the zombies are coming about or something, but Night of the Living Dead hits you right off the bat.
Well, we used to sit around watching the rushes in the studios, and someone said, what's this happening? Why is this happening? Why are these people coming back and eating the other people? And I made the suggestion, as I recall, that that satellite that they just are bringing back from Venus, that the Russians sent to Venus, is coming back. I said, what if it explodes in the air and spreads some kind of radiation? And everybody bought it, so that's the way it came out.
The military's viewpoint that the radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
They never really brought that out really sharp during the film, but who cares?
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter now.
You have a zombie project on the horizon?
No, we're still working on trying to get together Flesh Eater 2. And with the economy the way it is, coming up with the bucks is always hard.
I have Escape of the Living Dead, which I wrote the screenplay, and then Avatar brought it out as a 5-part comic, and we've been close a number of times to getting the money, and I just got a call today, and it looks like, again, we're close. And the cast, we have a great cast. Tony Todd, Christina Cleve, Kane Hodder, Gunnar Hansen, Tom Savini, Serena Vincent, and others. It's kind of back to the roots. It's stark horror, and it deals with some of those same themes of, are people going to cooperate and survive, or are their frailties and weaknesses going to destroy them, or what's going to happen?
I've written a trilogy that deals with 3 distinct psychological disorders. One is a sociopathic teenager. One is a first-time schizophrenic, and the other one is an obsessive-compulsive and chain smoker. And I'm trying to get those promoted. And I've written a situation comedy screenplay that in script form won a Silver Award for Best Screenplay Comedy at the Festival of the Americas, the Houston International Film Festival. And I'm trying to get that moving.
Did you have any idea that Night of the Living Dead would become such a classic?
We had hoped it would give us enough money to do another one. And then it took off with a life of its own. And I'm grateful that it did. In 2008, the American Film Institute in Dallas, Texas, awarded us and promoted us and launched the 40th anniversary tour. We have also been added to Hollywood's list of 100 best all-time horror films.
I wore this, so I knew I'd need a perfect place to sign, and I write "Ghoulishly Yours" right there, and then I sign these things, and I wore that white shirt, and it's perfectly outlined with that dark jacket, because I knew 40 years from then I would be signing these pictures.
Wow.
But you have to remember this: we made the picture. The fans who went to see the picture made that picture a success. And we're grateful for it, and we hope it continues for another 40 years.